Hey, what's up guys? Doomy here with another Raspberry Pi project I've been working on. It's called the NES Pi. Now, Nintendo's NES Mini was pretty great, but it was hard to find and, well, impossible to find really, and only had like 30 games on it out of 700 of their catalog, 700 plus of the original Nintendo's catalog. The NES Pi has thousands of games. It can do a lot more than that. And maybe the coolest part of this thing, a functioning cartridge slot with mini carts. Pretty awesome. Let me go over how the NES Pi came to be and all the hardware that is involved. First of all 3D designs and most of the setup goes to, all credit goes to a guy who goes by Daft Mike on YouTube. He was really the pioneer of the NES Pi. He was selling kits for a while, I think, or trying to sell kits, but he could not keep up with the volume, it seemed. The influx of people who wanted these things, very similar to Nintendo's NES Mini. So he went MIA last year, and I haven't seen posts from him since. But all credit, credit to where credit is due. All credit goes to him for all the designs of these STLs, these 3D printed case, and the idea here, really. Okay, let's dive right in here. Up front, we have a functioning LED, power and reset button. We have two USB ports for controllers, or anything really that's USB. Again, the functioning door with cartridge slot, which, is just freaking cool. Yeah, stick that in your pipe and smoke it, Nintendo. Where's that on the NES Mini? Yeah. Around to the left side here is the Ethernet port. On the right, here's the SD access. I don't know why you need it to remove the card, but just in case you don't have to tear the whole thing apart, it's right here. It's nice. Around back, we have the analog out for audio. We have HDMI, and we have two power ports. Now, you're probably wondering, why, Doomy, is there two power ports? Well, the bottom one is the built-in power port micro USB for the Pi itself. So if you plug that in, it'll just constantly be on and always stay on. The top port here is the Mausberry Circuit, and a Mausberry Circuit is kind of like a safe shutdown solution for Raspberry Pis, and it also cuts the power to the Pi. Let's open this bad boy up and take a look under the hood. Okay, under the mess of wires, you can see there's the LED, power, and reset buttons wired to this mini PCB board that I cobbled together. The wires run to the Mausberry Circuit back here. And speaking of the Mausberry Circuit, I had to design a custom bracket to hold it in place. When you're plugging in the USB port, you're putting force into that thing. So it really needed to stay put. And I didn't want to just glue it in. I wanted this whole project to be able to be taken apart and put back together whenever it needed to be. I designed this bracket of sorts in 123D design. I went through several revisions, so I'm quite proud of how it came out. You can see I've added a fan here, and the cool thing about this fan, and again this goes back to Daft Mike's original design, there's vents on the case, so it vents out, blows all that hot air out of the case. Why is that important? Well, okay, my case is printed in PLA. You may print yours in ABS, which chances are you'll be fine, you won't get any type of warping in your case. The Raspberry Pi 3 gets hot, and you probably saw that with my previous project, the Pi Station, and that thing would get ridiculously hot, and the fan helped with that completely. So that's why there's a fan, and I think it's a great idea if you do build one of these with Daft Mike's 3D files, get a fan. You can see here the latching tray button, and this allows the cartridge tray to go down and up and latch. It's awesome. It's, again, probably the coolest part of the physical features here in this case. Around over here is where you can see the USB ports from the front, and they just extend off the Pi itself. It's all very straightforward under the hood. It's really not a complicated project. I think the most complicated part is printing the actual case. And that's it. It's a fun little project, very quick to build and print out, not too bad. It's about 9 hours of printing, I would say, maybe a little longer, all little things here and there, but very straightforward project. And if I can do it, you guys can do it too.